Hey guys, I'm Jonda, and if you are watching this video, you are interested in the Tithe Challenge. I am so excited you are here. We're going to talk about briefly what tithing is, where it originated, how you do it, and the blessings that can come from obeying this one biblical principle that God challenges us with. So again, tithing, what is it? It's giving back the first 10% of all of our income. All right, now there was a key word there, so I'm going to repeat it. It's giving back the first 10%. So this is something you do right off the top, and then you budget on the remaining 90%. Now, if you haven't got the book yet, Why You Must Take Your Hands Off God's Money, a practical guide for thriving on 90% or less. You need to order that because part 2 is a wonderful section. It's very thorough and it helps you build a balanced budget, a budget you can live with. And there's tons of tips and tricks on how to make your money go further so that this 10% off the top is going to be almost painless, if not painless. So again, tithing, giving back the first 10%. Now you might be thinking, well, where do I give it? What do I do with it? Okay, this is going to be between you and God. But as an example, for me, I believe you should give it to the church that feeds you spiritually. Now, you may not be going to church anywhere right now. That's okay. But if you pray about it, God will tell you where to give your tithe. So for me, really quick, I don't go to church in the town where I live. My church is actually 5 hours away. I try to visit there a couple of times a month when possible, and every other Sunday I watch online. So that church is feeding me, regularly feeding me spiritual food. So I support it with my 10%. All right. So that's what tithing is. Now, how do you do it? Again, you're going to determine where God wants you to send your 10%. And then we are releasing a personal finance app. Actually, it's a faith-based, AI-driven personal finance app in January that's going to help make this tithing easier. So again, as an example, if you download the app and subscribe, you're going to enter how much income you get every month. And you're going to build a budget, and you're going to select budget categories that are appropriate for you. You may not have a mortgage, you may rent. And so your budget categories might look a little bit different than the next person's, but you can customize your budget categories and the percentages that work best for your budget. And then each time you get paid, you're going to connect your bank accounts, you're going to connect your credit cards, your mortgages, your car loans. If you connect all of these accounts to the app, each time you get paid, which is mostly direct deposit these days, then that will trigger an entry into your budget, and automatically that money will get allocated. Now, if you have told the budget app that you do want to take the Tithe Challenge, it will immediately take 10% of your income and stick it over into that portion of your budget. And so it will be up to you to give that money either on your church's app, the giving app, or you can just take it out of your account and put cash in an offering plate or donate it to a charity or whatever that you're going to do with it. But at least when it comes to building your budget, the app will just immediately take that 10% off the top and then allocate your money to your budget categories accordingly. Now, do you have to take the Tithe Challenge? Absolutely not. You do not have to do that. The concepts, the strategies, the tips and tricks that you're going to find in this book and the app are going to be applicable to whether you take the Tithe Challenge or not. But that leads me to why you might want to consider the Tithe Challenge, and that is this. You can't outgive God. It doesn't work. You cannot outgive him. So if you surrender your finances and you trust that you can thrive on the remaining 90%, and you release the first 10% back to God, I'm telling you, you are going to make room in your life for a miracle. And I promise you, God will show up.